Ogawa, number 91 on the All-Stars, is a really fantastic handler defender, coaching in space.
Huge shot goes up. Revere looking for Revere, and Donaldson breaks that one up.
Mira Walker gets that D back for Ozone.
Oh, excuse me. Just finding space in this horizontal set. She's never played horizontal offense before. Donaldson puts this one up to space looking for Revere. She's
Nice
able to
read.
track that one down and pull it in, no problem. Just a soft away throw. Not trying to put anything too high or too far by Donaldson. Very impressive.
You see Revere does a nice job of sort of boxing out, making Sinigini go to a space where the disc is not going to go, so that Revere has a much better play on it and can go up with both hands.
You'll see it here. Donaldson just airs that out, and it kind of curls around, and Revere goes up above Sinigini. You know, a couple of people that they're playing with. Instead of learning all 14 people, they could just learn a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, and a fantastic grab there, that deep shot that goes up.
Sam to Sam there. Sam Stovall to Sam Doherty with sure hands. Oof.
And a flick for donating their time to help us keep the game moving. Beautiful high release flick from Kaler, and Donaldson just rips a backhand looking for Edwards, who comes all the way from that far side. I like the flick hucks, and that allowed the All-Stars to just be more aggressive and allowed their unders to be far more open.
Absolutely.
Wooten rips a backhand, and Schaffner.
Very nice help D by Schaffner. I love how those...
Flick ahead to Kaler, who looks like Donaldson was there. Kaler would have had to make a huge play there.
But
Donaldson,
surely could have.
Yeah, Donaldson airs out a flick huck, looking for Schaffner.
Just a little too deep, it looks like.
Yeah, was that in bounds? It's hard to say.
So let's see if the Ozone offense can gather themselves a little bit here, being aware that these deep looks haven't really worked out, but maybe grinding the unders, and of course being aware of especially Kaler and Schaffner poaching in the lanes.
She just gets I don't actually think she touched it, but she got
Doesn't matter.
her body. She got her body into that lane. And Sprague with a great inside break to Miller, who reaches behind to catch it.
Oof.
And a cheeky little backhand to space finds Sprague for the score.
I love that. You can tell, you know, the All-Stars don't want to take any extra passes they don't have to take. They only have 15 players playing today, perhaps 14.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. There are a couple of players that have, you know, minor concussions or recovering from concussions. Lindsay Sue sprained her ankle at the Pro Elite Challenge this past weekend, so she is not on the field. But we'll keep you updated. I know a couple of them actually.
Very smart leadership to have a check-in like that at this point in the tour, to just make sure that you're doing the things you had set out to do. And it's not just from the leaders, from China and Rory Titcomb, it's from the players as well, to make sure that everyone is working hard to accomplish their goals.
So back to the action here. Sinigini finds Darch with a wonderful flick to space. That's Albrus to Fitzgerald, finding Scarth with a bidding Hannah Leathers. And then Wei, who rips a backhand, looking for Ogawa. Not sure if she's able to.
Oh,
she is able to catch that one. Wow. Pressure from the defender, but that's no problem. Miller finding Wei, who's in the handler position here, up to Fitzgerald.
Nice.
The great grab. She had to change directions as she was sort of Miller. I thought she'd thrown it. Finds Scarth right in front of the end zone here. All-Stars are going to be switching into their end zone set. And Revere just
borders on that line between being quick but being also a little bit hurried. Another deep shot from Ozone, looking for Emily Lloyd.
The field, so we're very excited to have her this year. Nice away throw from Ogawa. Keeps it nice and low, just finds Revere. Looks,
hey, this woman is tired, and if I make one more hard cut, she's toast. So I always preach really, really strong, and she's played a huge role on national teams and for the University of Washington.
Love that handler defense by Donaldson on Wooten. But Wooten is still able to get the disc.
Jessie powering up line, love it.
Looking for Schaffner, who lays out, but no problem. She's able to get that score. Beautiful inside flick, looking for Donaldson, but I don't think Donaldson's.
To Haley Reese, looking for Evelina Pierce, but gets Walker back in the middle. To Wooten, out to the open space for Palmer. Very nice catch. The rising stars on Atlanta Ozone. So happy to have her out there.
Yeah, impressive find there from Wooten. Donaldson was sort of trailing on that mark. They haven't had any players on that junior national team.
Yes, absolutely. It's been, there was one player, Anna Leon, was on the team 4 years ago.
Donaldson finding Scarth. Looks like Ozone set a junk set.
Transitioning out.
Transitioning. Scarth thought that
nice
Way was
Stovall on the far side, or that's Leathers actually. And Meg Harris unleashes a big one to speedy Paige Carver, who makes a great grab in the end zone. And fantastic.
And the crowd loves that grab.
And high fives from both teams. Very exciting play. We love to see a little Paige Carver out there really putting all that effort in. Good speed, not giving up, and leaving her feet at the exact right moment. Gorgeous play.
Walrus. Beautiful clear from Scarth finds Kaler, who rips a backhand all the way up to
Stovall in the middle. Nice give and go.
Darch had a player open, but Schaffner was her defender, and she fakes her off in a huge flick huck.
Excellent space, throwing over the defender to the space, almost making it a break throw, but it was released on the open side. Lloyd outside the end zone to Snow, staying nice and patient.
Edwards playing excellent shutdown handler defense, forces her to flow a flick blade.
Here you're seeing Snow again, looking upfield, doesn't like what she sees, and so she's looping one over all of the defense to a nice aware receiver, Emily Lloyd. Looking for Way on the under.
Finds Way out to Miller. Miller seizes up Schaffner and just puts a beautiful flick. It's kind of funny, it's almost a high release flick huck.
Yeah,
but
just
the laser
over the defender's shoulder too. I mean, that throw, as you will see, was perfect, and it had to be perfect. So it goes out to Miller. She thinks about it for a second, and then trusts her receiver and trusts herself that she can really put that skill throw to exactly the right space. You see Walker gaining on it.
Or end zone, excuse me. And a hammer from Way.
Good D by Doherty.
Yeah.
Into the handler reset. Nice body by Sprague. And a little touch on the mark from Walrus. Nice break around to Snow.
Great around her.
Yeah, and you know, when I'm coaching, a lot of my players say, oh, do I need to call foul when the mark is that close, as you see Sprague inching in on Wooten. But a great thrower just sees that as an opportunity to step and deliver past Haley Reese. Looking for Chambers, guarded by Revere tightly. Up to Pierce, Evelina Pierce. Nice deep shot.
Two Ozone players running deep, and the All-Stars just trailing.
To Woodhurst.
And who's guarding who? Finds Scarth, who holds on to that by just a finger or two. High release flick to Fitzgerald, and just squeezes it in between a couple of players. This past year's college national champions, Stanford Superfly, excellent school, excellent program. Huge backhand break huck from Wooten, looking for Palmer.
Fortunately, has some excellent coaches who took over for him, as well as Stanford with Robin Noller, who's been there for many years. And so I count. It's a great bailout.
Way to Revere. Finds Ogawa, who just...
They are really very into those very quick throws. So it's unsurprising to me that on this throw from Revere to Ogawa, Ogawa is ready for that. That's easy, surprisingly. Looking upfield to Snow. Just a beautiful under...
High, and there a defender will sort of come up and snack it. As we see here, Walker is able to just connect with Snow pretty easily on
Ozone.
And the All-Stars start out on a side stack, but quickly adjust. Donaldson looking for Kaler, and Kaler just quite can't.
In the middle for Stovall. And Palmer sneaks deep to take half on a break from Ozone.
So what we've seen so far is Ozone being able to pressure the All-Stars into taking shots that are a little riskier, and then putting defenders in those spots where the All-Stars are attacking.
Yeah, and then on offense, you see the All-Stars, as I've mentioned, are very good at covering for each other. and playing help defense, but it does look unclear as to really want to use the width of the field and the depth. Chambers up to Walker. Unleashed as tenacious as she is right now, so just imagine what she's become as she's grown into her body.
Walker looking for Lloyd, or excuse me, Darch.
Darch good. I think this was to Chambers, maybe going deep to the back cone, and it just
She
gets
didn't
an
get enough
inside-out angle instead of a flat angle.
Yeah, she just didn't get enough. She didn't get the right angle, it seemed like, on that release.
They're liking.
Kaler finding Schaffner. All-Stars starting out on a side stack.
Nice quick release.
So much space. Revere back to Schaffner. An inside flick looking for Ogawa. Fortunately,
Not to put it, and gets it to the side. Ooh, gorgeous D.
excellent block from Claire France. That Kaler France clearing out of that break space. High release flick from Kaler. Clearing out of that space so that Kaler can attack it with her throw. She throws a high release flick that sort of fades. And Revere knows to turn her head there. You know, Revere and Kaler from Sprague finds France. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lateral movement call. But France just throws it up to trust, putting it out to space. France.
Again, a great sell by Fitzgerald on that undercut to open up the deep space.
And a huge grab.
Very athletic, and I love the two hands, way to be sure. Walker slicing in and going across field to Christina Chambers for a nice goal. Walker coming under, fakes the continue, and a nice step around, confident backhand to Christina Chambers in the end zone.
Not sure if there was confusion there from the All-Star.
Any of those are in contention. If one of them could get maybe a big block, then that would put it over the edge.
Yeah, Palmer got those bookends earlier in the game that really sealed the comeback. The All-Stars with an excellent that happened in our game against Nightlock that sort of
to lay out without causing any contact. So that was very good and safe play. Here Wooten ripping it to one of her favorite receivers, Mira Walker. Rimmer streaking downfield. And help on the side from Lloyd.
With an easy under. Way looking for Walrus, faking her off. Finally putting it up, and just a nice hand block there in the game. I mean, I'm not surprised if you're Ozone. I would do that as well. This time, Wei does connect with her, the reset. She is frustrated with herself, and Sinagini rips a backhand all the way to the far side to
nice coverage.
Holding a nice cut there from France, and France unleashes a backhand to Donaldson, and she just rips it out of the air in front of Woodhurst. I'm not sure how she got a hand on it.
That's a good example of good physical play where it's, you know, nobody's getting hurt, but it's nice challenge in the air.
Donaldson looking for Edwards, and she's able to finding their marks. Kaler bodying Palmer. And
with a nice mark from France.
And I think that Wei got a hand on that.
Yes, she did. Forehand off, and it was not.
And Sprague looking for shot. Out to Darch. And Leathers shakes and bakes.
Ankle breaking cut by Leathers.
In front of her home crowd, you know, against her home team. And then she didn't play the Sunday of Colorado Cup. And she thought that she might have had a concussion.
A player that is absolutely blowing up and gave Whitman a hard time in college nationals.
Miller up to Scarth, who just skies a pair of Ozone defenders. Finds Revere, back to Scarth, and Ogawa striking to that cone. And Scarth looks
back here.
And an excellent foot block from Sprague. You know,
deep and wants to get some completions under her.
And Scarth fakes Schaffner.
Stars open in the around space.
Finds Sprague. Inside break to Scarth. Beautiful throw on Scarth. Finding Miller.
Looking upfield. Gorgeous catch.
All-Stars just pushed Ozone back like 15 or 20 yards. Ozone recovering nicely here. Excellent round break there.
Leathers to
Donaldson.
very Very nice reset cut by Walrus.
Finding Walrus, and Walrus looking for Kaler. She's able to run that out and catch that no problem. I like a couple of those holsters by the All-Stars. Sort of thought about the harder throw and then decided to go with the easy one. We'll see this right once more here. Donaldson with a disc. And then
excellent dump cut
from Walrus. She looks like that was a scuba, and then she just finds Kaler, who swims past her defender to that open cone.
You know, I think that's one of the hardest adjustments for women playing in college, especially as like one of the strong. Good upline cut by Palmer.
She unleashes a backhand looking for Lloyd. Just two All-Star defenders, and Lloyd rips it out.
You see a very nice upline cut from Andrea Palmer right here, and trusting herself with that gorgeous backhand, stepping in and delivering it out to space. And then Emily Lloyd getting great position, going up strong, even amidst some contact, to catch it at her highest point.
The crowd just
to have that scuba to the break side.
Miller back to Revere, and Revere shoots.
Reese. It's a really great line for Ozone to perhaps take the game. Chambers up to Walker, looking for that first open look and completing it to Reese, who puts it out to a streaking Walker, gets into the end zone for the win for Atlanta Ozone.
And they're pumped up. They just